Tim, we're here for your book launch about the things that you're passionate about. Tell us about it.
Well, I guess the book is twofold. There's a large part about my life.
Yeah.
And I've had an extraordinary life. That there was one thing that I would say has been more important than anything, it's people. I had a great family, a good base. I've had good mentors to latch onto, and I've got great colleagues, and that's wonderful. But my life's work is my love for Australia and her wildlife. And that's through the education of kids, the conservation of animals. So I've been very fortunate to not just make telly shows or work at a place like the Reptile Park, but to write a book. And it was a walk through memory lane that I think we all don't do enough of. But it's enabled me again to have a platform to be able to share my passion for things like this.
It's wonderful.
With the world, and that's good.
Now, I'll ask you the hard question. The reports that have come out earlier this year about Australia's extinction rates are very serious. A lot of people talking about it.
Yeah.
What's your feeling?
Look, the reality in Australia is that we're losing our wildlife at an incredible rate. The way the world is, it's a bit of an endless doom loop, and it's, I guess, for me, for everyone, it's hard to differentiate whether it's today about culture or climate or wildlife or biodiversity or fires or and the thing is that our wildlife, they don't have a little voice.
Yeah.
And sadly, we don't have pandas, lions, giraffes, orangutans. They're little brown animals, so they don't get that voice. But the reality is we're a really developed country and we've got the worst mammal extinction rate on Earth. And, we have a unique problem. We've got lots of problems. But one is that we're an old country, separated from the world for all of history. And our wildlife is unique because of that, and it can't handle change. And we've got pollution, climate change, urban sprawl, you name it, but it's feral pests. Our national parks are full of feral pests, and they're silent assassins, and so for me, I don't like just the doom loop. But every kid that perhaps reads a book with their parents and knows what a bandicoot is, that's my job done. Because someone in the next generation is going to care about a bandicoot.
Now, you have Australia's largest private wildlife conservatory. I know that you're trying to rewild certain animals.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Through the Reptile Park and over time, and our ambitions, we save lives with antivenom production. We contribute to conservation, but we have massively upscaled that and started an organisation called Aussie, which is the book's called. But that's well over a decade ago now. We have a bit of a nuanced focus, and that's on New South Wales species, because we're in New South Wales. We're in our backyard. Threatened species conservation is very difficult. You've got some wonderful conservation orgs that do mass land-scale management, fire, ferals, weeds. The challenge is, like our national parks, you can put a park aside, but if you leave it with a set and forget mentality, it doesn't work. It needs management. That's our role with threatened species. And so we started with devils to combat the disease and their extinction. The model that we use with devils worked for so many other species. So now the Ark specifically works with 6 frogs, 3 turtles, 10 mammals, not to mention all the species who benefit radically just by our, through ancillary means of our work. And we're growing every day at a very calculated rate, but threatened species really need far more attention than they get.
And this book is all about that and other things. Where can you get it, and how do we get hold of it?
The book is very easy to get. It's in every major book retailer in Australia and also online. Phenomenally easy. My dream would be that every Australian reads it. But more than that is that parents read it with their kids. It's an adult book, but it's written in such a way, and with sincere thanks to the people who helped, that the messaging in there for kids, it's not doom and gloom.
Right.
It's fun, and it puts it in a context of just by learning about it, that's good.
That's great.
They're not guilted into doing something, just learning about it is good, and I'm okay with that.
We love your passion. Thanks for talking to Central Coast Newspaper.
No, thank you very much. A wonderful part of the world.
Right.